Hello, my dear students. How are you all? My dear students, this is assignment number 6, which is totally based from 5-year papers. And the reason to make this worksheet is just to revise you very fundamentals from the curriculum, from the chemistry syllabus, just to apply your knowledge to get good grades in your exams. So this activity will be a sort of revision. So we started with the name of God, and I pray to God that give me strength to explain my words and to give you knowledge which is to be understood by you. Let us begin with the discussion of multiple choice questions. The very first MCQ is: concentrated aqueous sodium chloride is electrolyzed using inert electrodes. The word inert means they will not be taking part in this electrolysis, means in oxidation or reduction. And the electrolytic material is solution of aqueous sodium chloride. It is an ionic compound which will be dissociated to give sodium ions and chloride ions. So let's see what statements are given. The question is, which statements about the electrolysis is correct? Option A: chloride ions travel through the solution to the negative electrode. No, it can't be possible because chloride ions are already negatively charged and they will not be moving to the negative electrode. So option A is omitted. Option B: electrons travel through the solution to the sodium ions. Electrons do not travel on their own in the electrolytic solution. Only the electrons gain or lost by the electrodes. So option C: gases are given off at both electrodes. No, it can't be possible because one of the ion is sodium, which is metal, and sodium metal is a solid. So both of the products cannot be in the gaseous state. So let's see, the chances of D are the maximum because A, B, C all wrong. So we see option D is sodium is formed at the negative electrodes. Yes, that is most likely to happen because sodium ions are positively charged and they will be traveling to the negatively charged electrode, that is cathode, and they will be reducing by taking electrons and sodium metal will be produced. Next is, the diagram shows the energy profile of a chemical reaction and two energy changes are labeled at X and Y. So you see the reactants are converted into product but after taking a hype. This is the increase of energy, and overall the energy of the reactants are much higher than the average energy of the products. So it must be some heat producing reaction, which are also called as exothermic. Okay, the question is, which statement about the reaction is correct? A: the activation energy for the reaction is X plus Y. It can't be possible because activation energy is that amount of minimum energy which converts the reactant into product. So Y will not be a part of it. B: the enthalpy change of the reaction is X. No, we can't include only X in the overall enthalpy of the reaction. C: the enthalpy change of the reaction is X. No, X cannot be only enthalpy. When we see option D, the reaction is exothermic. I just gave you a hint in the beginning of this discussion that exothermic reactions are those reactions in which reactions proceed with the emission of heat. As you can see, the reactants are much more higher at the energy level as compared to products. The third MCQ is based on graphs. Just you see which reaction is going on. Hydrogen peroxide H2O2 is decomposed to oxygen and water H2O. Now you see there are two graphs. The curve 1 was obtained by observing the decomposition of 100 centimeter cube of 1.0 mole per decimeter cube of hydrogen peroxide. Now, which alteration to the original experiment condition would produce curve 2? Means the normal reaction was going on at curve 1. Now you see there is few more variation. Now what can be that possible change? Option A, adding some 0.1 mole per z decimeter cube hydrogen peroxide, means adding few more moles of hydrogen peroxide. B, lowering the temperature. The temperature will not be changing the reaction directly because it is not mentioned that reaction is exothermic or endothermic. The C is using less manganese. Option manganese oxide. Option C and D, they are hinting about or giving us clue about the use of catalyst. Look, catalyst only makes the conversion of the reactant into product easily. It accomplishes the complete conversion of reactant and product into product. So, but when we see option A, the curve 2 is producing more oxide. The more volume of oxygen is produced here. So finally, if the reagent is added, the rate will be altered and we will be getting more amount of products. As one of the product is oxygen, that's why we will get curve 2. MCQ shows it involves the redox reaction between iron chloride and chlorine gas. So first you revise what redox reactions are. The reduction and oxidation can be explained on the basis of loss of electron as oxidation and gain of electron as reduction. And when we plot the oxidation states in a number line, we come to know that if 0 is kept in the middle, the more positive value of oxidation state we are observing, it is about the oxidation. But when the oxidation state is going to the negative side, it is reduction. So you have to keep it in mind that if going in this direction, that's about oxidation, and going more negative, it's about reduction. So you have to see what chemical change is going on. Gain of electron, reduction; loss of electron, oxidation. Remember these 2 points to select the correct answer. Next MCQ is, which row correctly describes the oxides? You know, all the metallic oxides are very strongly basic, and the oxide of sulfur is totally acidic. But when we study the oxides of aluminum, they are totally amphoteric, means they have dual characters of reacting with acidic oxides and basic oxides. So you see option C and D seem more sensible. So what you select, option C or D? Option C has potassium oxide as the basic one. MgO is not an amphoteric one, so option D is the correct one. Next MCQ is, which substance is insoluble in water? Obviously, the carbonate of calcium is totally insoluble in water. In which of these equilibria is the forward reaction favored by an increase of pressure? So you see, if the reaction is proceeding in forward direction, what is the change in the number of moles of the particles of the gas? If the number of moles of gas is decreasing, then the pressure increase will be favored in the forward direction. So you see, maybe you find some reaction in which 2 plus 3 moles of gas are present at the reactant side, and there are only 2 moles of gas, nitrogen dioxide, producing. So when you increase the pressure, this increase is favoring the rate of the reaction towards forward direction. Okay, the ninth is the contact process, the formation or production of sulfuric acids, the Haber's process, production of ammonia gas, and hydrogenation of fats and oils includes or consists of adding of molecular hydrogen to unsaturated compounds of fats. So you see, you can only select the right answer if you know about the industrial catalyst which are used. Do you remember the catalyst in contact process is vanadium pentoxide, which is a compound. The catalyst in Haber's process is iron, which is an element. And the catalyst for hydrogenation is nickel or palladium. So what are you thinking of? Which should be the correct answer? Just select the correct answer. Now the last MCQ is, which element is sodium? First, you must be very obvious in the density of alkali metals, because sodium is one of the famous alkali metal which shows relatively very low density as compared to other elements. And there is one more thing very important to know about sodium, that sodium is a very soft metal which can be cut down by a knife simply. So you have to see the conduction is very good, because sodium is a very reactive metal. So 1, 2, 3. So I am getting 3 good conductors. Then when I see the melting points, as the sodium is not a hard metal, its density will not be much higher, and it is a soft metal, means it will be having the minimum melting points available here. So option A and B metals are having very high melting points and they are showing very high density. So option D is the correct one, because the melting point of sodium is exactly 98 degrees Celsius and it is a good conductor of electricity, and its density is 0.97 grams per centimeter cube. Okay, now we have reached on the theory section. The question is, an aqueous solution of ammonium nitrite, NH4NO2, decomposes when heated gently. Means ammonium nitrite is decomposed to give nitrogen and water. Describe how could you show that aqueous ammonium nitrite contains ammonium ion. So here you have to see the answer must give some identification reaction for ammonium ion. You don't forget that sodium hydroxide will be added in the test tube and it is warmed. Then a pungent smell gas will come out of the test tube, and when you put red litmus paper, red moist litmus paper, it will be turning blue. So this color change of the litmus paper from red to blue will identify the release of ammonia gas from ammonium ion. The next part is a sample of 25.0 centimeter cube of 0.500 moles per decimeter cube aqueous ammonium nitrite is heated. So what is given here? This is the volume of sample and this is the molarity. Okay, you are asked to calculate the volume of nitrogen formed. So for this you have to calculate the number of moles of the samples given you in 25 centimeter cube. You know how you can calculate? You know the molarity is equals to number of moles per volume. You have molarity and volume, and when you multiply 25.0 with 0.500, you will get number of moles, and that is 0.0125. So these are the number of moles of sample which are taking part in the reaction. So you are also asked to calculate the volume of nitrogen. Do you remember the molar volume? If you know the number of moles of a gas produced, then you can also calculate the volume occupied by those moles. Yes, I am talking about molar volume. 1 mole of any gas occupies 24 decimeter cube of volume at standard conditions. So 0.0125 moles will be multiplied by this 24 decimeter cube to get the correct answer, and that is 0.3 decimeter cube. So this is the volume of nitrogen gas will be produced. The next is, what is oxidation state? Oxidation state is a formal charge which comes on any chemical species when it gains or loses electrons. Predict the oxidation state of elements in water, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and oxygen gas. How you can work out on the oxidation state? Look, the oxidation state of hydrogen is always positive 1. Oxygen is always negative 2. So you see how you can calculate it. In the molecule of H2O, 2 hydrogens will be positive 1 and overall giving positive 2 sign on it, and oxygen will be minus 2. The sum of the oxidation state should be 0. This is how you can work out for the oxidation state of each element present in water, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and oxygen. Class, I am always available for your queries and your problems, and I am willing to solve them. When you watch this video, take full help of this video to clear your concepts, to apply them, and to prepare your final exams, because this is a sort of revision of 5-year papers just to prepare you for the good grades in the exams. So I'm leaving you with the hope that you will be passing on your positive comments on the channel through which I am delivering these lessons to you, and wherever you find difficulty you can ask me. Do subscribe it and watch the whole library of chemistry videos, because it is just aimed to clear your concepts. Thank you. God bless you. Take care.